Welcome back. We continue our deep dive on defense technology. Pittsburgh-based robotics startup Gecko Robotics signing a 5-year, $71 million deal with the U.S. Navy. The company using AI-powered robots to inspect critical infrastructure, cutting ship repair times from months to just days. The technology uses cameras and sensors to analyze vessels up to 50 times faster, helping to modernize naval operations. This is an effort to boost fleet readiness to 80% by 2027. Joining me now is the CEO of Gecko Robotics, Jake Loosararian. Jake, it's great to have you this morning. Congrats on the deal with the Navy.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back on.
Yes, and you know, this is a priority of President Trump. He wants to ensure that our military and all parts of the military are at complete readiness. How can this deal and your products, your work, help the Navy accelerate its work?
Well, thank you for being able to even talk about this. I mean, the Navy has been doing a bold move by moving and being a leader here as it relates to cutting-edge technology. So these robots that are specifically aimed at ensuring the readiness and meeting the goal of 80% that the Chief Naval Officer and Secretary Freeland has laid out is all about gathering information and data sets that feed into AI models. And me and you both know that the feedstock or the first principles of a great AI model is good information and data sets. So these robots are gathering information to diagnose the health, to understand, to be able to predict and plan better about how to get 3, 4, 5 months faster turnarounds to get these ships out of dry dock. And there's just too much time being spent at these pier sides and dry docks, and too much money being spent for the results that we have today. And so this bold move is all about technology-first approaches.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that as it relates to drone technology, because you've got the hunters and the killers when it comes to drones. And the hunters, of course, are those drones that are searching for information and searching for the enemy and then passing on that surveillance. I spoke with the CEO of AeroVironment on Sunday, and here's what he said. Watch this.
Few days of this conflict, Iran had launched over 2,000 kamikaze drones, the ones that, such as Shahid is one of those such drones. And these are being targeted on U.S. bases as well as some of our closest allies in the region. So this type of warfare has never been actually seen before. It's never been experienced before until the Ukraine conflict. What we need as a country is the ability to defend against these types of drones in a layered approach. And the layered approach means that you have different mechanisms of defending against them, so you can actually defeat these targets economically, effectively, and efficiently as they are launched and you're being attacked by them.
So tell us about that in terms of hunting for the information and that data, Jake.
Well, I think what it speaks to is the change of warfare that's coming, and this is what's fueling so much investments into technology companies that are taking an approach to try and ensure that we stay ahead of advancements like this that you're seeing. And the change of warfare is now an economic ordeal. It's a matter of dollars and cents. It's also a matter of how fast you can move. You know, when we look at things like in China, the ability to manufacture ships 232 times faster than here in the U.S. means that we have to be smarter as it relates to ensuring the readiness of our vessels today, that they're as available as possible, and ensuring that we also manufacture in more advantaged ways or different techniques. Because, you know, man to man, woman to woman, in terms of building a fleet, these are things we can't compete with adversaries. However, we can be smarter in how we do so, both intellectually and being able to intercept and understand how to ensure we're taking these systems out economically, but also as it relates to building new things. I mean, the technology that we have to be focused on and driving incredible amounts more investment is technology that's available today. You know, we've been working with the U.S. Navy for 4 years now. We're deploying on 18 vessels just this year, and probably going to be more because of how much demand there is. We need to be pouring investments into both existing using integration with technology companies and primes, but also building new primes that can move fast and at the speed of relevance. And so you're seeing this all play out in real time, and that's creating a huge demand in both the venture market, but also entrepreneurs and founders like myself and incredible technology technologists that are flooding into this sector because they realize what's at stake here, what really matters here in defending our freedoms.
Absolutely. Jake, you are doing such important work, and I know you're going to speak about this today at the Hill and Valley event on rebuilding America. You're warning that the U.S. is falling behind China on defense manufacturing, and robotics could be the key in terms of closing that gap. China is building ships more than 200 times faster than the U.S. and rapidly scaling up the use of robots. So tell us more about that. How can the U.S. close the gap? How fast can you make these? And tell us about the role robotics plays here.
Yeah, well, I'll be speaking at the Hill and Valley Forum today. It's going to be it's going to be packed with incredible speakers. It's going to be focused on this collaboration between the Valley, Silicon Valley, and DC. And I also mentioned, as you mentioned in the beginning, Pittsburgh-based. This isn't just a Valley and the Hill. This is bringing together all Americans, all folks that want to defend freedoms. And I think what I'm going to be talking about today in particular is the importance of integrating robotics to feed into and drive artificial intelligence models. We talk so much about AI, but you have to understand the real linchpin, the real key, the real moment that's coming is a robotics moment. It's a physical intelligence moment. And Jensen talked about this at GTC. This is, we don't realize what's coming. And I think what the U.S. needs to understand is that we have to lead in robotics. We have to be able to lead in automation, and that's what's coming in every sector. And it's about augmenting workforce. It's about supercharging and making jobs safer, but it's also about ensuring that we are able to protect and be able to have an infrastructure and also a way to ensure that we do not fall behind folks that are more aggressive in taking these approaches. And so that's what I'm talking about is, we are need to be focused on using and developing and then implementing as fast as possible and rewarding those from a contract and acquisition standpoint on the government side. And so there's a real big push by Feinstein and by an incredible team to ensure that we're pushing this technology forward. But we have to incentivize it because otherwise we're going to be left behind, and we don't want to have that happen. Yeah,
Jake, you make great points, and I'm so into this, and we want to continue this deep dive. But share with us the risks, because Anthropic made a big stink over the fact that it did not want to be part of any autonomous weaponry, and it didn't want to be part of what it called mass domestic surveillance. So, Jake, when using AI, does the human have the kill switch? I mean, what are the risks, and what do we need to understand about the potential threat here of AI agents and agentic AI, et cetera?
We should always be super. Look, let's understand something real quick. It should not be up to Dario, shouldn't be up to me, shouldn't be up to Palmer Luckey to be able to have a decision about what sorts of technologies to deploy, that our elected officials are deciding how to deploy them and use them. Now, it's very important as well to ensure the utmost as it relates to our values. We're defending our values, and it's extremely important that that we buy into and understand that our technology is in defense of our values. And our elected officials need to be entrusted to be able to do this with the appropriate pushback, refinement of thinking, and that's what Dario is trying to do here.
Yes.
And I actually applaud him for that. But I also it's important to understand that our elected officials are the ones that need to be armed with the most incredible technology available for negotiation purposes and at the absolute worst using them. And so we're armed, and what we're looking and focusing on is supporting our military, our war fighters, and giving them the best technology in the world and ensuring that we have the option to use if possible.
Especially if our adversaries are building it that way. Right?
Yeah,
we can't be sitting on
right.
our hands if China is building autonomous weapons and we don't know how they're going to use them.
And they are. And they're doing so in a way that's at a breakneck speed. And I think this is what drives us at Gecko and AI and robotics companies in the U.S. in particular, and our allies, is ensuring that we arm and move as quickly as possible, because the advantage is a logic step difference if you can unlock this really quickly. Jake,
stay close. We want to have you back because we're going to continue this conversation. You're doing important work. We appreciate your time. Jake Loosararian joining us, Gecko. We'll be right back.